This is Batnaya. This is my parish here. I just occupied first Mosul, first time, then went to occupy Nineveh plan. So they push all the Christian out.
Sheila Gunn Reid here on special assignment in Iraqi Kurdistan. I'm here documenting your efforts to save the Christian survivors of an ISIS genocide here in the very place that has been the cradle of Christianity for nearly 2,000 years. I'm here to show you and to be transparent about how our Save the Christians fundraising money is being spent. We've met Christians who want to leave the region, who see no hope and no future in the Middle East. But what about those who want to stay in their indigenous homeland on the biblical Nineveh plain? These are Christians who survived an age-old bigotry that Christians face here and who also survived an ISIS genocide and now want to return. Well, my new friend Jawad took me to the Christian town of Al-Kosh to meet the priest shepherding the return of his flock of Christians to the Nineveh plain. First, a little bit about Al-Kosh though. It's one of the oldest, if not the oldest, continuous Christian settlements on the face of the earth. It's also a place of pilgrimage for Iraqi Jews as the tomb of the prophet Nahum. And Al-Kosh, well, it sits only 50 kilometers from Mosul. That's the former capital city of the Islamic State. That's how close to extermination the Christians in Iraq were. Now, we went to the center in Al-Kosh that Father Aram runs to help the Christians who return back to where he says they belong.
First, it's an honor to us to have you today in our center. I'm in charge for New Trauma Center in Iraq, and I'm parish priest of Batnaya, Batnaya village. It's a damaged village. It was occupied by ISIS for 3 years. This is Batnaya. This is my parish here. I just occupied first Mosul, first time, then went to occupy Nineveh plan. So they push all the Christian out. Yeah. So here we go. Like this is the kindergarten class. We will do art therapy. We have like simple stuff. So next Friday we have classes with children, and we'll do art therapy with them. We will do the planting here. Also. Yeah. We still need some stuff. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a catechism center.
It's catechism center, youth center, women's center. 3 of 1. So we have 2 goals. Yeah. We are using it like a center.
After a very generous lunch, Father Aram took us to Batnaya. That's the Christian town we featured in our Save the Christians documentary. It's a place where they still say Mass in the Aramaic language of Christ. Batnaya sat behind the front lines of the Islamic State. And because of that, Batnaya was totally destroyed. It was ransacked. The Christians were killed or purged, and Father Aram's parish was destroyed. It was used as an ISIS training center. His statues and icons were smashed, and his altar was desecrated. Now, as a personal aside, it was a surreal experience to be driving across the biblical Nineveh plain with a parish priest who refuses to be scared of the threat of death because of his faith. And as we drove on his car stereo, he played a song we sing in my church back home during the communion procession. I was a little overwhelmed with my own connection to the Catholics here, even though I celebrate Mass half a world away, and I was sort of left feeling like the Western Church, generally speaking, doesn't care enough about the suffering of our brothers and sisters here. Now, after the liberation of Batnaya in 2017, only 2 Christian families came back. However, so did Father Aram. Now, with the help of your money through the Nazarene Fund and their contractors on the ground, White Mountain Research, 70 families are back in Batnaya, and Father Aram's little church is full again, even if it is a little worse for wear with the bullet holes still riddling the walls. Now, Father Aram is getting help from the Nazarene Fund to re-electrify the town with generators, to open a catechism school where children can learn about their faith, a daycare center, and a place where people can learn job skills. And one market, it's open to service all these returning families. While in Batnaya, we met a Christian family who came back to their town. They still don't have power in their house, but they aren't giving up and they're not leaving. Those folks are just one of the 70 families who will be celebrating Christmas in Batnaya this year with Father Aram because of the Nazarene Fund and our Save the Christians crowdfunding. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. I'm here this week in Iraqi Kurdistan documenting the work of the Nazarene Fund, who have been the recipients of our Save the Christians crowdfunding. To support my trip here, to see all of my reports, and most importantly, to continue doing the good work to help the Christians of the region, go to SaveTheChristians.com.